Hey there! Bob from Oregon's Constant Gardener. Welcome to the... I should say welcome back to the OCGFAM show to you, my YouTube buddies. What's going on? Let me know in the comments. We've been gone a while. What's going on? Carolina guy was one of the people to ask. He said, are you on vacation? Kind of, but no. No, not really. Scott and I have been struggling with what to do with the show. It's just kind of bumping along. I guess it's going okay, but we feel like we've lost the trail a little bit about actually making a difference for you all when it comes to growing nectar, and we'd like to take it up a notch. We'd like to make it better. So to that end, today, our most popular video over time, the video that gets the most views every day is, the new video gets a lot of views, but the old videos, Bloom Strategies, that video, people go back to that again and again and again, and so obviously that's an important topic to y'all. And that's what we want to do, is get into important topics for you. So the Bloom Strategies video, I'm going to cut the bumpers off of that and show you the middle piece of that right now. And then I'd like to talk about that over the next couple days so we can build a new Bloom Strategies video updated for now with Scott, and working on that. So please watch this. I think you'll find it interesting. Let's talk after.
You're such a dork. It's just so painful.
Hey there, Scott. So I wanted to talk to you, we wanted to talk to you about the Bloom kit. So we're doing the comprehensive feeding regimen. We've been working on that. We got that all lined out. Is that something you need to?
No.
All right. So now, but it's getting into Bloom time, and so we want to talk about how we can, if we really want to push, how we can kick it up a notch at Bloom. I called you on the phone. You said these are probably basic Bloom type things. So I'm hoping we can go through what they are and how they go. So Herculean Harvest and the Olympus Up, that's kind of the key to, that's Bloom.
That is the Bloom.
So why?
Well, I mean, it's the calcium phosphate in our line, it's the structure of all the flowers, it's the flavor, it's the oils. I mean, this is kind of our combo to make everything happen within the plant. This is the key to the line to some extent. Yeah, exactly. And it's, every watering, every feed, whatever you're doing, we just know we go through bone meal. Everybody goes through the bone meal.
So ramping this up into Bloom is what you do. Now, I don't have one here. I can go grab one.
What's that?
Bloom Chaos is going to facilitate that, correct?
It can. So if you're on it, if you're using it, great. This allows you to drive it higher and get more. If your budget doesn't allow for it, you don't want to. Don't do it unless you're going to do more of it. It's to get more of this in there. To keep it simple, 2, 3, 4 tablespoons per gallon.
Right.
To accelerate it, to try to really push weight, trying to really drive this plant, put this in, then you can start really going like a 1-to-6 ratio. So if this is at a tablespoon, this is at 6. You're at 2, you're at 12. I mean, you ramp it up exponentially by that. So
cool. Okay.
Not needed, but if you need more to go in, then needed.
Okay, cool. So then I noticed that we've got the Aphrodites and the Megamorpheus, the Tritons, and the Persephones. We got more of the Aphrodites. What does it do, and why do we use more of it?
Well, because this is our liquid fall in a sense. This is the sweetener. This is our sweetening product that is not a magnesium sulfate, so it's not like this. We're not tricking for a grape flavor or a sugar flavor or lemons, whatever. What we're doing is we're literally taking milk fat. We're taking the sucrose and dextrose from the milk products, and we're turning them into a available sucrose for the plant to consume, or more importantly, absorb and translocate. So this by itself will create more oil in the plant, more terpene profiles in the plant, and more aesthetics as far as what you see on the outside of your flowers. This will make the crystals more. So this is getting a sugar into your plant, not pouring a sugar on your plant. Well, that's it. We're not feeding microbes with this. The sucrose and glucose in this product is plant ready. It does not. It's not a large carbon chain. It's very small carbon chains. It can be absorbed. It's not going to be residual in the potting soil, and your plant can just uptake it. Cool. So these two we find drives for weight, drives for flavor, and aesthetics as far as getting a more snow-like feature on your plants. So these make them look pretty and taste good. Megamorpheus was kind of our answer to the folks who really needed that guano tea, that really like the profiles that guano provides and what worm castings provide as far as plant profiles, plant flavors. There's definitely a nuance. This is definitely for a gardener who really likes to get the depth of flavor in their produce. Just kind of an old school thing? It's definitely more old school. I mean, it's still new school. A lot of guys still run it. There's still people trying to make new versions of this. There's nothing magical here. It's a guano. We use seabird versus bat, and then we use worm castings from Ajit's cosmic worm.
So is the seabird guano better in any way, or are we just not killing bats by doing it?
That's our goal. I mean, some would argue which guano's better.
It's arguable.
Yeah,
but that wasn't the aim of it. It was to get something
ours
sustainable.
is a moral issue of just not disturbing bat colonies or their lives or their homes to extract for our needs. Where seabird, I mean, they're just an awful animal. They're rats with wings, and they shit everywhere.
And it's on a rock instead of
generally.
And this is not someone sneaking into the bat cave and scraping it off the ground. It's punching a hole and
it's extraction versus this is collection. That's extraction. And very harmful in the environment. So we choose this one. It's definitely not like the staple. You don't need this to be successful. It's definitely a tool to steer your produce one direction or the other.
I gotcha. Okay.
Triton's is definitely another enhancement, another addition it's for people who really want to dial in their fruit.
Okay.
I find this to be the best value mid-flowering to the end. A lot of people start right at the beginning of flowering. It does not hurt to use it all the way through.
Okay.
But what we find is week 3, 4, you start adding it in, it's going to create more profiles in the plant. We get a lot of extractors locally who will tell us that this creates more of a gassy fruit. So you're getting more gas flavor out of the produce when you do this. And those are some people I really respect in the industry because they've done their work for 10, 12 years with our line. They know what if they add more of one thing or the other. This is one where if you like the gas in fruit, this is it. This will help aid making that genetic push harder in that direction. We also notice that the colors in the plant are more vibrant. They're more vivid. The aesthetics of the fruit are just... There's more jar appeal when you start adding the Triton straw.
Okay.
Not needed. Definitely still get the flavor. You get the size. You get the yield. But this is going to make it have more jar appeal and be more of a finer palate for folks who like that.
So, to some extent, it's just better, but it's also a flavor profile that some people may prefer more or less. Yeah. And so you would work with how much you use and kind of play with that over time to figure out what works for you personally?
I would, yeah.
Okay.
And then Persephone's palette. This one's an interesting one just because it's a lignin sulfate, which is a calcium byproduct of tree sap. What we find with this one is the sulfate in lignin sulfate will offer more terpene profiles than you would have had if you didn't have a little bit of sulfur in the soil. We've seen this now in many labs from some bigger farms that have done labs with and without it, and we're seeing anywhere from like 3 to 6, 3 to 8 different terpenes that weren't there beforehand. I can't give you the terpene names because I don't remember.
Are they in that bottle, or does that bottle make those things express?
Expresses from the plant. So this is just because the sulfates trigger something in the plant response to then make these terpenes more available or more pronounced. And it's kind of like making wine. You can have just grape juice, or you can have these crazy barrel flavors, the smokes, the oaks, the blah. This is your wine barrel.
What's lignin?
Tree sap, basically.
Okay.
So molasses is cane sugar byproduct. So it's the long carbon chain of sugar cane. Lignin is basically hardwood sap. That's a smaller carbon chain and has the same carbon that a sugar would have, but smaller doses.
Does that make it more available?
It makes it less violent on your microbes in the soil. So when you water this in versus molasses, when you water in, you're suffocating your mycorrhiza field. Your bacteria can start getting choked.
Right. Okay.
This will be a food source. It doesn't blanket over your mycorrhiza field. It will lay within it, and the mycorrhiza can absorb it, and your bacteria have an easier time breaking it down.
So to some extent, it's just a better molasses and does what molasses would do, but it is not entirely that. It is more than that.
Yeah, I use molasses still in compost teas because it's long. It takes 24 hours to break down. The plant, the microbes will use it more efficiently. This sucks as a tea. Well, it doesn't suck as a tea food, but it's not nearly as efficient as a molasses.
Because you would think molasses, I can use this instead of that, but no, not so much. That when you're breaking it down over 24 hours,
yeah, you'd have to keep feeding this. And Aphrodite's is not a compost tea food because it is already broken down. It's already available into its most available form.
Okay.
So you put it in there, and it's like giving them Jell-O, which is instant food and then gone.
Okay.
So there's no longevity to this in a compost tea, but it goes directly into the plant for consumption.
Okay.
So yeah, those would be the ones to start working on from week 3 to 4 in bloom up until the end.
Okay.
And then when you get to the end,
sorry.
Yeah.
This is what's in the kit, is what I was getting at.
Yeah.
Okay. So
is
go ahead.
this in the kit?
That is in the kit.
That's in the kit.
Okay. But
when you get to the end, you know, your last 14 days, a lot of people will go back and forth on this, and what we've discussed is a lot of people water this at 1 to 2 tablespoons per gallon all the way to the end.
Right, okay.
And guys who are really trying to push for that last level of oil production, flavor, sweetness, high terpenes, all that, they'll keep this at 1 to 2 tablespoons per gallon.
Okay.
Last watering or 2, cut it all out and just water flush with just plain water.
So what I understand, I would be down to pretty much just this at the
this
end?
or this and this, depending on your budget.
Okay.
I run both of these up until about the last 2 days, and then I just water heavily through them.
Would I still be using my Gaia Medusa and stuff like that? Or
No,
broken
last
down
10
to
days
just
you're just flushing, so
Okay.
you're basically in that last flush cycle.
Okay.
And that's it. You have...
So this is just the flush that's on here, but you would add in the Aphrodites.
That's on here.
It's on there. Okay. Oh, on the Roman.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got you.
That's where it's at. But that's what I would do.
All right.
Get those going.
Okay. There you go.
Okay, what do you think of that? We're going to make a new video about that same topic. What new information would you like to know? What information that was in that video would you like to have discussed more in depth? What can we make clearer? How can we help you with Bloom strategies? Let me know in the comments. I love you. I'll see you tomorrow.
It's the OCG Fam Show.